everyone. Today we're going to be focusing on giving ourselves permission to take up space. So we're actually going to start standing today. So if you want to join me standing at the top of your mat, maybe you bring one hand to the chest and one hand to the belly, closing the eyes or softening the gaze, and just taking a moment here to take 3 cleansing breaths. Taking an inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Taking one more inhale and exhale it all out. Great, go ahead and bring the hands down. Gonna get those shoulders warmed up, so bring the shoulders up, back, and around. And switch directions. Great, I invite you to take the feet just a little bit wider to help with balance. And we're going to take some neck rolls here over to one side. And then back around. Remembering to breathe. And when you're ready, returning the neck to a neutral position. Taking a neck stretch here, bring the right hand over to the top of your left ear and just slightly tilt the head to the right side, extending the left arm long here. Chest is lifted, taking an inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Taking one more inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and return the neck to neutral position. Let's switch sides. Left hand comes to the top of the right ear and just gently lean over to the left side. Right arm stretches out long, finding a nice stretch on the side of the neck. Taking an inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Taking one more inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and returning the neck to a neutral position. I invite you to bring the hands to the hips, and we're going to just take some hip circles here to one direction, making really huge circles, and then start making them smaller and smaller, coming to still. And then we'll go the other direction, starting with super small circles, and then slowly making them bigger and bigger. Great, returning back to a neutral position. I'm going to inhale, and on the exhale, we're leaning over to the right side. You can clasp the hands together or do steeple hands at the top. Taking an inhale, and on the exhale, coming to center, lifting up and over to the left side. Taking an inhale, and on the exhale, returning to center. We're going to take those same circles, but this time we're focusing on the torso. So just starting with small circles. Imagine yourself drawing a circle with your pointer fingers up. And slowly make those circles bigger. Remember that you can step out wider if that helps with your balance. And then start going to the other direction. This time we're taking big circles. And then slowly making them smaller and smaller. Inhaling, and on the exhale, we're going to bring the hands down. I invite you to just clasp the arms behind you here, letting the shoulder blades touch, chest is lifted. Finding a nice stretch here in the upper back. Chest is stretching as well. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, releasing the arms up. Inhale here, and I invite you to drop into chair just for a moment. Sinking the butt down. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we're taking a forward fold here. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. And then we exhale, forward fold. Planting the hands down, you can step through a high plank or drop the knees down. Everyone lowers all the way down. Untucking the toes. Sending the chest up to cobra. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, untucking the toes, sending the hips up for downward facing dog. You're in an upside down V with your gaze looking at the back of your mat. I invite you to plant that left heel down on the mat. Step the right foot up into a low lunge. Push off of the ground, stepping up to warrior one here. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we're stepping forward to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, stepping through either high plank or drop the knees. Everyone lowers down. Inhale, pressing up to cobra or upward facing dog. And on the exhale, untucking the toes, sending the hips up. Option to take 3-leg dog, or you step the left foot up into a low runner's lunge. Plant the right heel down, press off the earth, stepping up into your high lunge, warrior one. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we're taking a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root the feet down to rise all the way back up to mountain pose. Hands come beside you, taking a moment just to catch our breaths. Taking an inhale and exhale. Noticing how the body feels. Maybe taking a moment to reflect on, is there an area of life which you need to take up space? It could be work. It could be in relationships or friendships. Just taking a moment to reflect on that. Great, taking one more inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and sink down into that chair. Chest is lifted. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we take a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Option to step through that plank or drop the knees. Lowering the body all the way down, untuck the toes. Inhale, sending the chest up to cobra or upward facing dog. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, untuck the toes, send the hips up to downward facing dog. Option to take 3-leg dog, lifting the right heel up. Or just go ahead and step the right foot forward. You're in a low runner's lunge. Plant that left heel down, press off the earth, stepping into your warrior one. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, cartwheel the hands down into a low lunge. You can bring the knee and untuck the toes if that feels more comfortable. Plant the left hand down and open up to the right side. Just creating some space here. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and return the hand down. Everyone comes up, bringing that left toe off the earth if you took the knee down option, and stepping your way slowly into a forward fold. Taking your time to make your way in this forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold, hands plant down option to step back onto the knees or in your high plank, lowering all the way down. Inhale, chest is lifted for cobra. Finding your breath here, taking an inhale. And on the exhale, untuck the toes, sending the hips up to downward facing dog. Option to lift the left heel up for 3-leg dog, or step the left foot up into a runner's lunge. Spin that left heel down to the mat, press off the earth, coming up to warrior one. Inhale here, and exhale. Taking one more inhale, and on the exhale, we're gonna cartwheel the hands down into a low lunge. Option to keep the toes lifted, or you can bring the knee down to the mat. You choose which one feels better. Right hand plants down on the earth, and we're opening up to the left side. Taking an inhale, and exhale. One more inhale, and on the exhale, bringing our hand back down to the earth. If your knee is on the ground, you can keep it there, or you can come up to the toes for a moment and meet in a forward fold. Do what you have to do. Take your time to get there. There's no rush. Taking an inhale here in this forward fold. I invite you to step the feet just a little bit wider here. Grasping opposite elbows and just rock side to side. Taking ragdoll, letting the neck and head hang, releasing any tension in that upper back. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, bringing the hands to the hips and slowly roll up to standing. Go ahead and take a wide leg stance on the mat. Lifting both of the arms up to a 5-pointed star here. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to take a wide leg forward fold just for a moment. And go ahead and walk the hands over to the left side. If this is too intense of a stretch, know that you can grab a block or stack of books. Finding this stretch all in the hamstring. If bringing the hands all the way down to the earth is super uncomfortable, you can bring the hands to the shin area, or even have your hands on your hips, but you'll be doing a little bit more of a core workout. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we're gonna walk our hands over to the right side. Still creating space, finding a stretch in the back of the right hamstring. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, returning the hands to center or onto both shins. Bringing the hands onto the hips, slowly rolling up, nice and slow. Taking a big inhale at the top. And exhale. Good, arms come out wide again to that 5-pointed star. Go ahead and turn the toes out at a 45-degree angle. Toes are facing out. Taking an inhale here. And on the exhale, we're gonna drop down into goddess. So sinking as if you're taking a squat. know that your goddess can be as deep as you need it to be. So if you're here today, perfectly fine, that's goddess. Do what feels good for you and how much space you need to take up in your hips today. Taking an inhale, arms can be up, they can be in cactus, you decide. Inhale, and then exhale, let's release out of it, coming back to that 5-point start. Taking an inhale, and on the exhale, we drop down into goddess again. We're taking revolve goddess. You have options, so let's come out of it just for a moment so your legs aren't burning. You can take goddess and do it revolved, or if that doesn't feel good, you can keep the legs straight and open up to one side and you'll still get that same stretch. So alright, decide which one works for you and go ahead and join me. If you're dropping down into revolve goddess, go ahead, bring the hands on the top of the thighs. Drop the right shoulder down, gaze is looking up. Creating space in the hips here. Taking an inhale and exhale. One more inhale. And on the exhale, stand and return to center. And let's all take it on the other side. If you're taking revolve goddess, go ahead and sink down, bring the hands to the top of the thighs, and drop the left shoulder, gaze is looking up. Taking an inhale and exhale. One more inhale. And on the exhale, everyone returns to standing, coming back to the center here. Taking one more inhale as we ground ourselves. And on the exhale, go ahead and come back to standing at the top of your mat here. Inhale the arms up. And we're gonna exhale, taking a forward fold. Crouching down into a ball and making your way onto your butt. Gonna take boat pose, just lighting up the core a little bit. So let me show you your options before you're cussing me out because your core is engaged. So you can take boat pose with the feet on the ground, having the hand here or lifted. You can also lift the feet, having the hands outright or lifted, or you can extend the legs really long here and lift the hands. So you choose which one feels good for you. And we're gonna inhale, taking the arms up, taking boat pose here. Knowing if you're feeling that shake, I'm right there with you. It's okay if feet are on the ground or if you need to place the feet on the ground at any time. Hands can even be behind you if it feels more comfortable. Taking an inhale and exhale. One more inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and extend the legs out long, taking staff pose. Inhale, arms up, and on the exhale, lean forward. Hands can come to the top of the thighs, the shins, or the toes. Gaze is looking down at the earth. Taking an inhale. And then on the exhale, I invite you to swing the legs around, coming into a tabletop position here. Just for a moment. And I invite you just to rock the hips side to side, creating space here. And then returning back to center, we'll take a couple of cat-cows. So inhale, drop the belly, gazes up. And exhale for cat, rounding the spine. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, drop the belly for cow. And exhale, rounding the spine for cat. One more. Inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, round the spine. Returning to a neutral spine, I invite you to sink the hips back, taking child's pose here. Wide legs, taking the legs as wide as the mat or as wide as you need to make this comfortable. You can also bring the hands underneath the head if that feels better. Creating some space in the hips here. Might even feel it in the chest or upper back. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, if you have your hands making a pillow, go ahead, stretch them out long and walk the hands over to the right side. Just creating more space in the upper back, finding a nice stretch. If this is super uncomfortable, you can always come back to the arms folded in. And then let's walk the hands over to the left side. Taking an inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And on the exhale, walking the hands back to center. And coming back into that tabletop position for a moment here. I invite you to keep the left hand planted down on the mat and open up with your right arm here. It's creating more space. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, threading that right arm underneath the left. Your ear and head and shoulder can all come down to the earth. Or you can grab a block, bringing the head down to the block if that's more comfortable. Taking an inhale. And exhale. Taking 2 more breaths on your own. you're ready, rolling onto your side, bringing the knees up into the fetal position. Taking one more inhale. And on the exhale, when you're ready, pressing off the earth, coming back into a comfortable seat. Inhale, bringing the hands to meet at the top. And exhale, bringing the hands down to heart center. Taking a moment to express gratitude to yourself and your body. Taking a moment to remind yourself that it is okay to take up space. Taking one more inhale. And on the exhale, bringing the hands down. As always, thank you so much for sharing your practice with me.